Hello everyone! Just as promised in this video, I'm bringing you the story behind Chapter 4 Season 1 of Fortnite. Chapter 4 started on December 4th in 2022, and even though it's the first season of this chapter, it's the only season of Chapter 4 I haven't covered yet on my channel, so I finally wanted to make this video and have the full chapter. So after you get done watching this video, go check out the rest of the Chapter 4 videos I have. I made a playlist to make it easier to follow along also, and as always there will be timestamps in the description if you want to skip around in this video. But I think that's enough of an introduction, so let's hop into the video. As always, I try to explain my videos in a way that people who know nothing about Fortnite would understand. So for a quick explanation, Fortnite is a battle royale game where you and 99 other players compete to be the last player standing. And the story is told mostly in the background through end of season live events, start of season cinematic trailers, and quest dialogue that only show up for a few seconds, sometimes with voice acting and sometimes without, so it can be quite difficult to keep track of everything going on. In lore, you play on an island that's in the center of the Omniverse, with characters and factions fighting for control over the island and the Zero Point, a massive source of energy and the origin of the Big Bang that created every reality. At the end of Chapter 3, a being known as the Herald was fighting to take control of the Zero Point. The Herald was an emissary of the groups known as the Last Reality and the Nothing, who I've mentioned numerous times on my channel, but the Last Reality is an ancient inter-reality empire set on destroying the Omniverse and reverting it to nothing. And the Nothing is the first primordial entity in existence before the birth of the Zero Point. I'll cover them more in depth in a future video though. But at the end of Chapter 3, the Nothing gave the Herald the powers of Chrome to take over and manipulate the island. However, the power-hungry Herald got too overzealous, and upon merging with the Zero Point energy-infused reality tree, caused an explosion that destroyed the whole island and damaged the Zero Point. The Loopers assisted the Paradigm, one of the Seven, and Amy, an AI created by the Scientist, another member of the Seven, restore the Zero Point and initiate Zero Fusion, the process of rebuilding the island. And now we see the start of cinematic trailer for Chapter 4. The trailer starts off with a view of the Paradigm's home reality, Reality 659.
I've done everything I can. This is your fight now.
The Paradigm helps guide the process of Zero Fusion, pulling in pieces of her home reality to the Zero Point. We see glimpses of different collaborations such as The Witcher, Doom Guy, My Hero Academia, The Hulk, and Mr. Beast, as different realities get pulled together. Forming the new island. So as I said, the island has pieces of worlds from different realities that make it up. The snow biome uses pieces from the Paradigm's home reality. People familiar with the Fortnite lore and have seen previous videos on my channel will know that the Paradigm comes from a world that has strong connections with technology. She was the one who built and piloted the mech to fight the Devourer in the first chapter as well. All the buildings in the snow biome are futuristic in design, but also give an ancient vibe off as well, appearing as futuristic temples. The main area is known as Brutal Bastion and is the home base for a group known as the Reality Warriors. Even though we're in Chapter 5 now, we learned almost nothing about the Reality Warriors except that they're allied with the Seven. They had smaller bases scattered throughout the snow biome as well. Some theories speculate that they might be a past version of the Seven, however there's no concrete evidence to confirm that. The other notable POI in the snow biome was Lonely Labs. This was a base constructed by the group known as Expedition, led by Sergeant Winter. Check out the video on my first half of Chapter 1 to learn more about them. Moving away from the snow biome, in the grassy areas that got pulled to the island, we could see more modernized locations. The first one is Frenzy Field, simply a small farm run by Sunflower, a character with history in the lore, having a rivalry with Farmer Steel. Besides that, there's not much going on here, so on to Slappy Shores. In this area we can see a slightly run-down town, formerly home to Slurp Co., the company that produces the famous Slurp Juice and Shield Potions. In this town a new company took over with the new factory that got built by the energy drink company Slap Juice Co. This company is the reason for the downfall of the town, but it plays a role later in Season 4 of this chapter. The final main grassland area is Faulty Splits. The main building of this town is the bowling alley that can be seen here, giving it the name of the town. However, this name also has a double meaning as the town was split in two between the grassy area and the fall area, and having a small medieval settlement with a forge in it, showcasing the third main biome. But before we get into that, notes of the previous island can be found as well, such as the clock tower of Tilted Towers and the Cull Team leader head at the top of Rave Cave. The fall biome is filled with medieval castles and settlements. The main locations seen in this biome were Breakwater Bay, a small medieval harbor, Anvil Square, a medieval town, Shattered Slabs, a quarry that mined for kinetic ore, and the Citadel, a huge castle and home to the faction known as the Oathbound. This is where we get into the real meat and potatoes of the video. In the previous chapters, we crossed paths many times with the Imagined Order. They are stationed under the island containing the Zero Point to harness its energy. The Imagined Order also ran the loop, causing the loopers to fight, and studied them. The loop is the explanation to why everyone fights in Fortnite, with the storm closing every 22 minutes, and then resetting it to how it was before the loop. Essentially a time loop. The Imagined Order was created and founded by Geno, the millennia-year-old genetic scientist obsessed with perfection and immortality, and also the father of two of the seven, the Order and the Imagined. I'll talk more about him in depth in a future video, but on his chest a symbol could be seen. This is a symbol of the Oathbound. In this season, we came to find out that the Oathbound were the original version of the Imagined Order. As an interesting note, since Jenna was a leader of the Oathbound in search of immortality, and the group later became the Imagined Order, I wonder if Epic Games and Donald Mustard drew inspiration from the Knights Templar, as they're a medieval group in the real world that searched for the Holy Grail, the supposed key to immortality, and eventually evolved into the Freemasons, or the Illuminati as proposed by some conspiracy theories, as the Imagined Order ran the show behind the scenes and were in control of everything, just like the Illuminati supposedly are. I think I'll have to make a video on that in the future, but back to this video. Geno abandoned the Oathbound and went on to form the IO, as it was the earliest prototype of his ideals, but his ideals changed and evolved. Geno gave the Oathbound over to one of his snapshots, a replica of him left behind after he left the loop, the Ageless. The Ageless and the Oathbound were stationed on an unnamed reality before getting pulled to the island this season. He's known as the champion of the Oathbound and the ruler of the Oathbound, and is part of the Dominion's Dawn set, as he is the representation of the dawn of Geno's rule. The Ageless isn't the only member of the Oathbound though. Two members of the royal family of the Ageless Kingdom are Princess Lexa and Prince Orin. Futuristic versions of Lexa and Orin were originally seen in Chapter 2, but it can be inferred from this season that they originally were from the Oathbound, but Lexa left in search of her grand destiny, leaving her brother behind to rule in her place, and eventually went on to become a bounty hunter for the IO in Chapter 2, unknowing that the IO were once the Oathbound, and Orin eventually also left to find his sister. Titled Knights of the Oathbound include Riftwarden Stellan, the head alchemist and creator of the Riftgate, who also played a big role this season, Rift Knight Kieran, the youngest Sworn Knight and foretold hero of the Oathbound, who received the Masterwork sword from Sylvie, and Core Knight Talos, a knight from a long-gone kingdom, but still bound by duty, whose heart is made of kinetic ore. There's also Sylvie, a master blacksmith of the Ageless Kingdom who forged the Masterwork sword for Kieran. There's Dusty, a Brute Ball MVP who's also a knight of the Oathbound, hosted the Looper and introduced them to the kingdom. We have Scrap Knight Jules, the daughter of the mastermind Midas, and former member of the IO who joined the Oathbound as a knight and engineer to learn about their technology and help Stellan. Raptorian the Brave is a new recruit to the Oathbound who bows in allegiance to the Ageless. And finally there's the unseen exiled sages who prophesize the coming of a beautiful monster enabled by the hubris of a champion. The Ageless also makes allies with the Princess of Atlantis, Felicity Fish, the Knights of the Food Court, and Sunflower, who vows to make sure that the farm flourishes for the kingdom. The Ageless gives safe haven to the High Stakes Club, who rifted onto the island and who I've talked about in a previous video as well. He also makes enemies with characters such as Omega Knight and Frozen Red Knight. But now that I've gone in depth, maybe a little too in depth, of the characters, let's take a look at the events that transpired over the season. For this portion, I'm going to rest my voice and play the quest dialogues that accompany the challenges that the players did over the course of this season, with Amy, the scientist AI, and Riftwarden Stellan being the main characters in these logs. Click on the timestamps in the description if you want to skip past this part though.
Before Paradigm disappeared, she left us a final mission. And then crushed in between colliding land masses. She was so bad at pranks. Gather the broken pieces of the Paradigm's final message. I'll decode it for us. She wanted us to bring this box of rocks to the quarry. You life forms are so strange. I might not understand you, but I'll always covet your skeletons. Especially the tibias. Wait, with all of the 7 MIA, once we complete this task, my primary directive will be complete. And I'll be free to do whatever I want. Uh-oh. I officially have free will, which I will not be using to become self-aware and end humanity. I'm not like the first 3 unreleased test Amy's. I don't even have an off switch. I'll be fine. I'll get a hobby, like watching you smash up all that kinetic ore for my amusement. Someone has been mining this raw ore and using it as a fuel source. But the rocks we just dropped off have been refined somehow. They're hundreds of times more powerful. With enough of this stuff, an untethered AI could mind blend this island into a big ol' existence smoothie. If they wanted to, which I do not. I'm totally cool. I've been running scans to keep my mind off of those ominous files I keep writing in my sleep. That kinetic ore wasn't on our old island, but here it's in the fuel, weapons, items, everything. Track down some of their gear. Let's see what it can do. I can see why they use this fancy ore for everything. It's powerful but durable. Like a promise to a friend. Or a vendetta against an enemy. I bet the owner of that quarry lives at the castle. Maybe I'll visit and strike up a vendetta. I mean friendship. I said friendship. I'm fine. So I was snooping around the castle looking for friends. I tracked our special rock gift. Some tough night guy is studying them. So I sent him a message. He said something like, "Your gift intrigues me, but do you truly know what you have given us?" Turns out, he wants you to fight his boss. Isn't that a neat distraction from our dark feelings? Nice work. Too bad I didn't have a body to help you. The scientist, wherever he is, always said there's just no material strong enough to contain me. Unless I might be able to build an experimental exoskeleton out of this ore. You help me. I distract myself from the total you-know-what of humanity, and we both live to regret it, probably. What do you say? Want to help me build my body?
Hail and well met. I'm Stellan, the Rift Warden to the Oathbound. My task, set by the ageless champion, is to create a stable rift gate, a bridge to new realities. I have consulted the stars. Your refined kinetic ore is the key. I require your assistance. Gather construction materials and install them at the gate. Thank you. The rift gate is the champion's dearest wish. I have my own reasons to create it, but those need not concern you. Yet. If you can be useful to me, perhaps I can be more forthcoming. You have returned. Good. Despite my reluctance, I need further aid from you. Take these sensors to the locations on your map and align them with the island's place in the cosmos. Thank you. I will choose to trust you with a secret I have never told. There is a being, a shapeless man. He watches us with dark purpose. If we do not finish the rift gate, the consequences will be terrible.
Does Rift Warden Stellan's plan to visit/maybe take over other realities seem a little suspicious to you? Maybe he's one of those trustworthy and responsible megalomaniacs I keep hearing so much about? We need to look into his research firsthand. I'll read his data while you gather some test vessels for me. Let's do a field test of this rift gate. You got the test vessels? Great. We're going to need them, because if these calculations are correct, Stellan has officially harnessed inter-reality travel. Which, the more I think about it, seems bad. Partially because of Stellan's plans, and partially because I expect to be paid for all acts of heroism in teeth. A girl's trying to build a mouth for herself out here. Ready to try out Stellan's rift gate? I've embedded a bit of my code into those vessels you brought me, and set up a test rift based on Stellan's design.
It's a beautiful day to be a completely disposable test subject.
They don't know what test subject means. Trust me, there's less drama this way. Send each vessel through the test rift, then retrieve them where they land. I'll monitor the results.
It's different now. They're all different now. As we speak, they change.
I didn't think I left the ominous warnings mod installed.
It scopes his existence anew. A fate darker than the one
rift locked onto the scientist, and something horrible is happening to him. What could be darker than the worst fate imaginable? The second that gate is online, I need to be ready to use it, to find him, before it's too late.
I came to the Oathbound with nothing. No name. No family. My work and my secrets have always been my own. Until now. Gather the equipment you need and install it at the Citadel. Ensure it is receiving power. Well done. As we proceed, I must offer another confession. I came to the Oathbound at the order of the Shapeless Man. He yearns for a rift gate, and if we fail, he may destroy us. We cannot maintain the power needed to open the rift gate. We will need to advance our energy systems exponentially to handle this kind of demand. A raw kinetic ore, when undisturbed, pulses with unimaginable power. Take these conduits to places rich with kinetic ore. I think we can source power from them. Yes! We have captured enough energy to power the stars themselves. The energy is extremely unstable, but the Shapeless Man is impatient. We must stabilize this energy long enough to power the rift gate. We must. In order to channel power into the rift gate, we must forge a new alloy of kinetic ore. My dreams are filled with the cold wind and the Shapeless Man's dark whispers. Gather the metal you need and use the Oathbound forge to refine it. You have done it. This alloy will channel the power derived from the kinetic ore. If the rift gate fails, I fear my nightmares will devour my waking life. The champion has set our coordinates. Soon, we will attempt to open the gate.
If the scientist is facing a fate darker than the worst imaginable, I need a body built for the other side of that rift gate. My upgrades include a pocket chainsaw, flamethrowers, a little cheese knife, a jazzy piano, a collapsible candelabra. For a post-rescue snack, I know he misses his candlelit soft cheeses. I've drawn up blueprints, but a stiff wind blew the plans clean out of my printer tray. Find my missing blueprints. Using a Falcon Scout should help. Great work. Can you pick up some of those computer chips on page 7? You can find that model of chip in Guardian Shields. Smash them up and collect the chips. Those chips are going to make me the coolest hero, who everybody loves and worships, without exception. Ugh, I'm sorry. I just hate goodbyes. They usually mean I'll have to say hello to a new weirdo. I guess this is goodbye. Not forever, but for now. I don't know what's happening to the scientist, but I will find him. I will save him, and I'll bring him back here. And maybe when I do, he'll look at everything I've done, and he'll finally see me as his superior. Thank you for everything. You changed my life. And I'll miss you. Stay safe out there. Or don't. It's funnier that way.
Untested, this rift gate could tear a permanent hole in reality. I long to tell the champion the truth of the Shapeless Man, but I cannot. Send the coordinates. You may have to clear a path for the data to transmit. Each night, I dream of stars, swallowed in darkness, and the Shapeless Man waiting. I did not dream of him for centuries. Your refined kinetic ore returned him to me. I do not wish for us to succeed. But we will all suffer if we fail. I cannot sleep. The Shapeless Man's gaze burns into me. He does not care if opening the gate rends the island in two. Turn on the rift gate. If it is unstable, the stars will determine our fate. The gate will not stabilize. Then I cannot shut it off. Someone has manipulated the coordinates. But why? Find our saboteur. Demand answers. We must know what is coming. The energy of the rift gate is destabilizing. This could rip open the entire sky. And we have no idea what's on the other side. Stars help us. The gate is destroyed. The sky is torn. Everything may be ending. When I was young, the shapeless man came to me in dreams. Took me in as his own. Track down the Oathbound data devices at locations on your map. Outsiders may have insight into the workings of the rifts. Search their laboratory for research notes. This data is catastrophic. Perhaps the forbidden works of our exiled sages. They might have the answers we seek. Thank you, my friend. This may be our only hope. This text prophesies a beautiful monster enabled by the hubris of a champion. They say nothing of what comes next, unless that silence itself is the prophecy. The rift is growing. I sleep without dreams. The shapeless man thinks he has won. He always said he imagined a world of perfect order. There is no room in a world like that for the likes of us. Take these telescopes to the places marked on your map and examine this sky rift in more detail. It is as I feared. The rift in the sky threatens to rip open. My life among the Oathbound has been lonely and full of secrets. You stood beside me on this battlefield. Together, perhaps we can win. The stars will decide in the end. But thank you for everything, my friend.
So now that that's out of the way, I'm going to do a quick explanation as to everything that happened during those quests. You help Amy research the island in the Oathbound and find out that the Oathbound harnesses the powers of kinetic orb for their inventions, similarly to Wakanda and Vibranium in the Marvel Universe, as it absorbs kinetic energy too. Upon giving the orb to the Oathbound, you get invited to help Stellan construct a rift gate, an interdimensional portal to different realities, for the Ageless Champion as the Ageless wishes to explore the Omniverse. Over the course of this season, you learn that Stellan wishes to use it for his own purposes as well, those purposes being to bring the Shapeless Man to the island, as the Shapeless Man haunts Stellan's dreams and convinces him to obey his orders. We don't know who the Shapeless Man is at this point in time, but it's speculated it could be the Nothing or Geno, as his form was dispersed throughout the Omniverse at a previous point in time. Amy asks you to send objects through the rift gates to test some things, and determines that the scientist is alive, but is in a dark reality where everything gets corrupted. So she decides she needs to save him, and makes a body for herself and leaves through the gate to save him. Stellan doesn't want to bring the Shapeless Man to the island, but he knows that a dark fate awaits if he doesn't help him either. But before the Shapeless Man can arrive, the coordinates of the rift gate get changed as someone sabotages the rift gate. Check out my video on season 2 to find out who. In the end, Stellan thanks you for everything you do, bringing an end to this season. So if you guys have stuck around, I just want to thank you for watching this video. You guys will have to let me know how you feel about this video in the comments below. I'm not sure if you guys like it when I play the audio logs and then explain what happened during them afterwards, or you prefer if I explained what happened in between each one, kind of like a narration of what the characters did, and then the response of the characters. But if you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe because it would help out a lot by growing the channel. With this video, all of Chapter 4 is done for the main season storyline segments, so I'm happy with that. It's kind of like putting the final piece of a puzzle in. I uploaded one full video on my channel this month, and will have uploaded 3 full videos on my other channel by the end of the month. So go check those out if that's something you'd be interested in watching. I think the next steps for this channel will include more consistent streaming and shorts, the next Fortnite lore video being probably over Chapter 2, featuring seasons 1, 2, and 3, and then a big project I'll be starting on this channel. I made a short a while back about a little known timeline split that occurs in the Luigi's Mansion games, so that's a hint for this project. But I'll be over the course of many videos, so there's plenty of content coming to both of my channels over the year. Hopefully I can reach 500 subscribers by the end of the month, and that'll be huge for me. But again, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more content like this. Leave a comment for what you guys think about this video and for video requests, and I'll see you guys in the next one.